Part 1. The Invisible Erosion of Wealth. Most people believe that financial ruin comes from the big mistakes, a failed business, a market crash, or a massive luxury purchase. However, the reality is far more subtle and dangerous. You are likely losing hundreds of dollars every single week through money leaks, small rhythmic habits that feel entirely normal but quietly siphon away your future. Just one of these common patterns can cost you upwards of $300,000 over your lifetime. This isn't a failure of willpower. It is the result of living in an economy designed to exploit your psychological blind spots. The first major leak is the classic trap of the brand new car. While most people understand that cars lose value, they rarely internalize the speed of that evaporation. The moment a $50,000 vehicle leaves the lot, you lose roughly $10,000 to $15,000 instantly. Within 3 years, nearly 40% of that wealth has simply vanished. Psychology suggests we do this because our brains don't view cars as mere transportation. We view them as an identity signal. We aren't buying a commute. We are buying a story to tell the world. The solution is a simple shift in math. Buying a 3-year-old vehicle with 30,000 miles provides the same reliability, confirmed by data from certified pre-owned studies, while saving you $20,000 up front. By automating the difference in monthly payments into an investment account, you turn a depreciating ego boost into a robust retirement fund. However, the car is an obvious leak. The next drain is much harder to see because it arrives one meal at a time, often while you're sitting on your couch. Would you like to know how a simple Tuesday night habit is secretly costing you the price of a suburban home? Let's look at the digital drain in Part 2. Part 2. The Digital Convenience Trap. The second and third leaks are fueled by the convenience economy, specifically food delivery apps and the daily fad drink. Food delivery platforms are masters of psychological friction reduction. Research shows that paying through an app barely activates the pain centers of the brain compared to handing over physical cash. Because of this, we ignore the fact that these apps mark up meals by nearly 80% once service fees, delivery charges, and tips are included. What feels like a $12 dinner quickly becomes a $22 transaction. If you do this 3 times a week, you are spending nearly $3,900 a year on food that would cost $1,200 if cooked at home. That $2,700 annual difference, when invested over 30 years, grows into $300,000, literally the price of a house or a decade of early retirement. Similarly, the $7 daily coffee or specialty drink is a leak that our brains categorize incorrectly. We would agonize over a $2,500 annual subscription. Yet we spend that exact amount on coffee because our brains file it under small daily ritual rather than large expense. This isn't about the caffeine. It's about the reward loop of the routine itself. By recreating that ritual at home for 90% less cost, you could fully fund a Roth IRA every year just from your coffee savings. These habits persist because they are small enough to stay under the radar of our conscious mind. But as we move into the next category, the leaks move from your kitchen to your closet and your pocket, driven by a brain that struggles to predict its own future desires. Is your future self lying to you? In Part 3, we'll uncover why your closet and your smartphone are keeping you stuck in a cycle of fast consumption. Part 3. The Myth of the Future Self. The fourth and fifth money leaks involve our obsession with newness, specifically in fashion and technology. The average person buys 68 garments a year, many of which sit in a closet with the tags still on. This happens because of a psychological phenomenon where we overestimate how much our future self will want what our present self is excited about. We buy a $400 gala outfit for a version of ourselves that doesn't actually exist, and the emotional high peaks at the moment of purchase, not when we actually wear the item. Technology follows a similar pattern. We are conditioned to feel that our current, perfectly functional phone is outdated the moment a new model is announced. Yet, data shows that a 3-year-old smartphone still performs at 90% of its original capacity. The incremental 12% speed increase, or slightly better camera, is often invisible in daily use, but the marketing makes us feel like we are falling behind. Combined with this is the fear of loss that drives us to buy extended warranties, 80% of which are never used. We pay for the peace of mind, but the cost of the warranty is often double the average payout. By skipping the annual upgrade and the useless insurance, you can save $1,500 a year, which is enough to build a complete emergency fund through nothing but patience. These leaks are driven by our desire for status and security. But what happens when the leaks are literally built into the architecture of the places we visit every week? The grocery store is designed to hack your brain. In Part 4, we reveal how brand trust and seasonal nesting are draining your bank account by thousands of dollars a year. Part 4. The Psychology of the Aisle. The sixth and seventh leaks are perhaps the most insidious because they occur during essential chores. Most people reach for name-brand groceries out of a familiarity response that the brain mistakes for trust. However, blind taste tests reveal that store brands match or beat name brands 73% of the time, often because they are made in the exact same factories. Swapping labels and using a strict list to avoid impulse snacks can save the average family up to 40% on their monthly bill, roughly $3,000 to $5,000 a year. Then there is the trap of seasonal knickknacks and disposables. We spend an average of $1,200 annually on candles, holiday towels, and decorative items that are often thrown away within 90 days. We frame these purchases as nesting or self-care, which prevents us from doing the actual math. We are victims of the fresh start effect, where every change in weather triggers a psychological urge to buy new things to match the moment. The eighth leak is found in the wellness and premium aisles. Unless your car requires it, premium gas is a marketing word that provides zero benefit to engine health or horsepower. Similarly, bottled water is often just repackaged tap water sold at a 3,000% markup. In the wellness world, health halo thinking leads us to buy charcoal toothpaste or collagen gummies because the packaging looks natural, causing us to skip the cost-benefit analysis entirely. These small leaks, the store brand swap, the reusable towel, the regular gas, seem trivial, but when you add them up, they represent the difference between financial stress and total freedom. But there is one more leak, the big one, that people actually go into debt for just to look good on social media. Are you paying interest on memories? Find out in Part 5. Part 5. The compounded cost of convenience. The final major leak is the luxury vacation we can't afford. Over a third of people now go into debt for vacations, paying interest on memories. Ironically, research shows that our brains remember the peak and the end of a trip, not the total cost. A $5,000 resort and an $800 cabin trip create nearly identical long-term emotional satisfaction. Yet we often choose the expensive option because it photographs better for social media. When you aggregate all 10 of these leaks, from car depreciation and food delivery to name-brand groceries and vacation overspending, the total is staggering. Over $530,000 in avoidable spending over a lifetime. If that money were invested at an 8% return, it would grow to over $1.5 million. This is retire a decade early money. The reason we fail to fix this is that we rely on willpower. But willpower is a finite resource that fails 85% of the time. When you're tired at the end of the day, the apps and impulses always win. The only way to win is to build systems. Automate savings before your paycheck hits. Delete delivery apps and shop groceries online with a preset list. Use a 48-hour rule for any purchase over $50. Switch to a debit card with a visible balance to make spending sting again. You aren't bad with money. You are a human brain operating in an economy designed to exploit you. By setting up these systems in a single afternoon, you can stop fighting your own wiring and start building a future of true financial security. Which of these 10 leaks surprised you the most? If you're ready to master the psychology of your money and build a system that works for you, subscribe and join the conversation below.